The following program is a SUTV student production. The views expressed are not necessarily those of Salisbury University, the University System of Maryland, its regents, administration, officers, employees, or representatives.
Such as Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Diane Nash.
7:30 in the morning beside the Wayne Street parking lot.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Rachel Taylor, and this is SUTV News. SU has its next president. The university announced Dr. Charles White will succeed Dr. Janet Dudley Eschbach this summer. White is currently president of Weber State University in Utah. White stated, quote, "I am both honored and delighted by the opportunity to serve as president of Salisbury University," end quote. In a Salisbury University press release, White said he loves to go flying in his 1976 airplane to decompress, but might need to trade in his airplane for a boat. A civil rights icon shared her experience with SU students. Last Wednesday, Diane Nash spoke to hundreds of students, faculty, staff, and community members about the civil rights movement and the current racial issues the U.S. is facing today. Nash organized the Freedom Rides of 1961 and co-founded SNCC, a group of students who organized famous 1960s sit-ins. SUTV's Ryan Hale shows us a look at the event.
It was an inspirational night of stories and advice that had Salisbury students and residents fill the room. After an audience warm-up of singing various gospel songs, civil rights activist Diane Nash discussed numerous obstacles she went through during her time in the civil rights movement.
And I found segregation to be extremely limiting. I began looking for an organization that was trying to combat segregation.
Stories included her efforts to desegregate lunch counters, organizing the Freedom Rides of 1961, and co-creating the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee.
I was the chairperson the first year that we had sit-ins in Nashville. The second year, I refused to be chairperson because I thought it was important that someone else have that experience. And people said, well, nobody can do it as well as you. And that was true. But I'll tell you why it was true. It was because I had a year of experience doing it, and no one else had. And so it's when I absolutely refused, then they found somebody else. And then I went to jail for a month in South Carolina. And when I got out, the new chairperson was really confident.
The night ended with a Q&A session including Nash leaving us with words of advice.
When you have decisions to make, always make the decision that will make you respect the person you see in the mirror.
This has been Ryan Hale for SUTV News.
SU has a little more money in the bank today. That's because it hosted Giving Day yesterday. Students, faculty, and alumni donated to their favorite SU clubs, organizations, and departments. SUTV's Nguyen has more.
Signs scatter across campus to make Salisbury students, faculty, and residents aware of Giving Day. I had the pleasure of speaking with annual giving coordinator Michelle Pryor to discuss more about the fundraiser.
Salisbury University's Giving Day is a 24-hour fundraising event, and it's just a day when seagulls around the world, parents, faculty, staffs, current students, all come together and they support the areas of Salisbury University that they love the most. Fundraising of any kind we do all year long, but on Giving Day, it's an opportunity to display that those smaller gifts that people think don't matter do combine to make a huge difference.
SU clubs, organizations, and academic departments can use these donations to help improve their programs and teams.
For example, this year the biology department is fundraising on Giving Day to bring in guest speakers for some of their seminars. We have a lot of club sports that are able to fund equipment and upgraded jerseys, things like that.
Students enjoy raffles, a free cup of coffee and snacks, and a complimentary ride to class as their donations receive the match.
So the match is we have 2 alumni donors, very generous alumni donors, who have offered to match every gift made on Giving Day this year. All students, up to $200, their gifts will be tripled, basically. It's a 2-to-1 match up to $200. And for non-students, those gifts will be matched 1-to-1 up to $100. I really hope everyone supports the area of campus that really means the most to them, because like I said, it's doubling or tripling their impact. And by showing that you support your area of campus that you love the most, others will support that too.
This has been Leon Nguyen for SUTV News.
Just because Giving Day is over doesn't mean you can't donate. Visit the Alumni House's website for more information. More outdoor events are coming to campus this spring. SUTV's Diamond McGill has a look at the week ahead.
Thanks, Rachel. There are a ton of events coming on campus this week. This Thursday, SOAP is hosting Comedy Night with comedian Gina Brillion. So if you need a good laugh, it'll be at the Wacomico Room from 7 to 8 p.m. The Student Wellness Program is hosting an informal tabling. Representatives will be out this Friday from 1 to 3 in front of GSU 125 to provide information and answer questions. SOAP is hosting another Friday night of movies. You can catch Space Jam this Friday in Devil Bis 123. Want to learn about some of the possible improvements to the campus? The student government debate is this Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. in Purdue 156. You can hear from and meet the candidates. Who's ready for Gold Fest? There's a volunteer interest meeting next Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. in Devil Bis. Volunteers also get a free t-shirt and get into the concert for free. That's your look at the week ahead. Back to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Diamond. Another event coming up this weekend is SU's production of Hairspray the Musical. The play's hair designer, Jake Thereault, says wigs are an important part of the musical. He says the design process first starts with a creative, collaborative meeting with the production team to discuss the 60s-based musical.
We'll come together as all of the designers and the director and the choreographer. We'll have a big production meeting. And we'll talk about things like what's the general aesthetic of the show, or things like that. And we'll share our sketches and our designs and things like that. So that way we make sure we're all headed in the same direction.
Thereault says he reuses wigs from previous productions to save the department money.
So we save all of the wigs that we've used and we keep them in stock. And I'll select one that will work for that particular style. And if needed, I can cut it, color it, do whatever I need to do. I'm really just looking at the length of the hair and the volume of the hair, like how much hair is actually sewn onto the wig cap. And then we can move forward with the rest of the work.
There are around 40 wigs featured in the production. Thereault says he individually styles each wig.
So I take the wig, I pin it to a canvas wig block, which is, it's like thick canvas, which is stuffed with cork. So like what wine corks are made of, but it's loose cork, and it's really hard. So I pin it to the block, and then I'll put it up in rollers. Okay. And then I'll take a steamer like you would use for your clothes, and I'll steam the entire wig, and then I'll let it dry and let it cool. And then once it's dry, you can take it out, and it has your new curl pattern in there.
The Department of Music, Theater, and Dance here at SU has announced an important date change for Hairspray. Opening night will now be on Saturday, April 7th, instead of Friday, April 6th. Those who bought tickets for Friday's show can contact Fulton Box Office to reschedule or request refunds. And that wraps up our SUTV newscast for tonight. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.